Austin ISD Thursday Night Football on SHN Sports, presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Broadcast also made possible in part by Frost Bank, Georgetown Shirt Company, and Rob Hip Insurance. And now, on to the field for tonight's game.
It's Thursday Night Football on AISD's Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com. Central Texas High School football on SHN Sports is made possible by Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company. 3 words describe Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company: simple, reliable, and awesome. We support our community. From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products, Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company helps put your brand on your business. Get started on your project today by getting a quick and easy quote online at georgetownshirtcompany.com. If you or your family couldn't work for 6 to 12 months due to a serious illness or major accident, how would that affect you or your family financially? Hi friends, I'm Rob Hip. I offer products that can help during the tough and unforeseen times. For more information, please call me directly at 512-522-9105. Again, that number is 512-522-9105.
Well, back here at House Park as we get set to play some football tonight. District 12 and 5A Division I begins play as LBJ takes on McCallum. Both teams getting set to take the field and run out from the north end zones. And we'll continue to set this ball game up for you. Let's tell you about some of the key players in tonight's game and start on the LBJ sideline. It's a pair of talented cornerbacks. It's defense is really the name of the game for them right now. Latrell McCutcheon, the name to really watch out there. If you're watching on the stream and looking for numbers, Latrell McCutcheon is number 21 as you see him play tonight. Committed to Alabama. Not something you see a whole lot of, pulling out of the Austin area. First real big player to actually go to Alabama from Austin, I think under the Saban era, but he's committed to head there, and he's just a junior.
Yeah, and you know those Alabama scouts recruit the entire country and perhaps even parts of the other side of the world. If there's talent that they hear about, they have the budget to go after those guys. So obviously, yeah, if that's news to anybody watching, it's an opportunity to see one of the guys that Nick Saban's looking at and trying to bring into his program. And then obviously, yeah, you have other next-level players here going on tonight for LBJ. But it's going to be a big opportunity to catch Latrell McCutcheon.
Yeah, Sean Fresh on the other side of the defense playing corner opposite McCutcheon. He's headed to Rice next year, a senior as well. And then if you look on the offensive side of the ball, junior wide receiver Andrew Makuba, he will be wearing the number 2 out there tonight. Team's top target. He's got offers from a little bit of everybody so far: Arizona, Arkansas, Missouri, SMU, many others. So, and again, he's just a junior as well, so you can expect more offers to likely roll in for him over the next year.
For sure, yeah, this is the year that you really get recruited. So to be recruited as a junior, that level is obviously special talent. So big matchup talent-wise tonight. Hopefully we have a good game. As you mentioned, McCallum losing their starting quarterback at the second play of that Taco Shack Bowl that was also here on SHN. That'll be something that they have to figure out all season long here.
Yeah, there's starting quarterback for McCallum went out there in game 1 as both teams take the field. It'll be Jackson Rosales, the sophomore, taking the snaps, I do believe, here for tonight for McCallum. He was filled in admirably at the rest of that Taco Shack Bowl. Remember, McCallum in that game that you saw here on SHN on week 1, that was a game where they fell behind 22-0, but played Anderson to a stalemate the rest of the way, so they looked really good. And for McCallum, really everything on both sides of the ball starts with the big man on the line in Alvino Carbajal. He was the district lineman of the year last year, and he's back.
Yeah, and, that's where the battles are won there in the trenches. So a lot of what you want to do in the offense really determines on what happens there with the big men battling up front. And as we get ready to get this game underway, you know that it's going to be a fun matchup here. Another one on Thursday night, AISD Game of the Week.
Takai Satberry, the wide receiver, primary target out there for McCallum as well, and he'll be looking to connect with Rosales. Satberry did have a touchdown in that Taco Shack Bowl we broadcast earlier this year. McCallum, a bit of a down season last year, 6-5, after going 24-3 in the previous 2 seasons combined. But here they are back again. They did make the playoffs. Both of these teams did last year, and both of these teams trying to march back forward one more time. LBJ, one of the favorites here in District 12 5A. They are fast. They like to run fast. They like to play fast. So be on the lookout for that tonight. Quick snaps and quick movement, especially on the offensive side of the ball for LBJ. Both teams going out for the flip at the 50 right now. LBJ wearing the all-white uniforms with the purple numerals and the dark helmets with LBJ written across on both sides. As for McCallum, they're wearing the home blue unis with the silver breeches. They've got the white numerals and the silver helmets as well. As fans keep filing in, the flags across the way flying towards the north, as a little to the northwest actually. We've had some rain and some weather move through the area today, which quite frankly, folks, if you're not from around this area, quite welcome, because that's about the first rain I've seen in probably 3 months. So.
Yeah, and it's nice and gives a nice cooling effect here to the stadium as well.
It's a very, very comfortable night, but the wind could play a factor here later on, as it is blowing pretty well here tonight. LBJ, by the way, does win the toss. They have chosen to receive, and so the LBJ Jaguars will take the field with the ball first after we have the national anthem with both teams lined up here. We're going to step aside as we do have the anthem on the way. Once we come back, it'll be kickoff of tonight's District 12 5A Division I battle between McCallum and LBJ as they start district play in earnest this evening. Stick around with us. This is AISD Thursday Night Football on SHN Sports, presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats to honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad. The national anthem is being performed by the McCallum High School Band.
And a fine job by the McCallum band across the way as we are set to play some football tonight. McCallum taking on LBJ in this District 12 5A showdown. Glad to have you along. Brad Tillery, Carl Schoening here with the action for you this evening on SHN Sports, as we are proud to bring you Thursday night football on AISD all season long. As this is next week, if you're looking for the game, by the way, let's go ahead and tell you, it's a bye week. All of the Austin ISD next Thursday night will be off, so we will be too. Next broadcast for AISD's Thursday night football will be on October the 3rd, if I have my dates right. So be prepared for that one, folks, looking for the games. But we got this one tonight to call you, or to bring you, and it should be a good one. We do expect LBJ, a team that very likely favored in this district. If you look at the district so far, nobody has undefeated after 3 weeks. Everybody has at least dropped one game. Of course, district play just beginning tonight and this weekend. But last year, this was a district where 3 teams, LBJ being one of them, tied for the district championship, and all did it with just one loss to each other within the district. But they all were upset in round 1 because they're matched up with District 11, which is the district with Georgetown, Cedar Park, Hutto, and all those guys up there just north of the city. Kicking it away for McCallum, it'll be Silvio Guzman. Going left to right as you watch on your screen. Boot to leather, short end over end kick will be fielded at the 34-yard line by Danny Davis. He goes around the right end. He's got room, cutting across the 45, shakes a man off to the 50, and he'll be wrestled out of bounds across into McCallum territory at the 49. So great field position to begin the game here for LBJ.
Yeah, a really solid return, and that always gives your offense a little bit of life, especially at the start of the game when everybody's fresh to really start in plus territory at the McCallum 49. I don't think that there's a better way to really, much more you can ask from your return team.
Well, first play of the ball game here as LBJ sends out Hunter Scott, the quarterback, a senior, to take the snaps. They'll go 5 wide to start this ball game. 3 receivers to the near side, and going into the backfield now is Daquan Donaldson, taking LBJ a long time to get set, and I think they had to call a timeout, but yes, they did, before they got hit with a delay of game. So coming after the good return and great field position, you get your first snap, you'd think you'd be ready to go, and LBJ unable to get ready.
Yeah, that momentum I was talking about really deflating right there, having to burn a timeout on the first play from scrimmage before it can really even get going. And, yeah, like you said, these are things that make coaches irate. You should know what you're doing out there the first play of the game, but, you know, you don't want to put yourself behind the chains the first play of the game, especially when you get the ball first, and that's what happens.
Well, LBJ chooses to stay in the same formation as Hunter Scott will take the snaps at quarterback. McCallum with 4 down linemen on the defensive side. Daquan Donaldson in the backfield next to Scott to his left. Scott looking to the sideline, now has the call he wants from it. 14 to go on the play clock. Snap back, hand off to Donaldson. Over the right side, he's got room across the 40. He's hit and stumbles down to the 36-yard line. They'll actually officially mark him, back at the 37, I thought. A nice pickup and a first down, a gain of about 13 on the play.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going no huddle to try and keep them on their toes and not waste any more time with that play clock.
LBJ runs fast. That's what they do. They like to play very, very quickly. Donaldson again in the backfield. Snap, handoff, same play over the right side, and he is wrestled down at the 35 for a short gain. Looked to be number 22 out there. Christian Hart with the tackle, a senior linebacker. That brings up second down and 8 yards to go.
Yeah, you know, if you have a hole, might as well check to see if it's there on the second play, and only a small gain that time after a pick up a first down.
This one, a quick pass near side. He's shaking a man. Now another one. Off to the races goes Sean Fresh. Makes another man miss across the 10 to the 5. He is pulled down from behind, but not before he reaches the end zone. Touchdown, LBJ. A 35-yard catch and run from Sean Fresh. And that might be some of the most impressive moves you will see all year anywhere in Texas high school football.
Yeah, I think he was a little inspired by Julio Jones last week on Sunday Night Football. He catches that screen, and he takes it right into the end zone. A couple nice moves to get defenders away, and then right there wasn't another defender until the end.
Extra point on the way. It is true. The kick there by Gerardo Benitez. And your score with 10:50 to go in the opening quarter. It took 1 minute and 2 seconds for LBJ to strike 7-0. They lead it over McCallum. 35-yard touchdown pass from, excuse me here, folks. I nearly lost it. Fresh will be the receiver on the quarterback. Hunter Scott, the quarterback. Tell you what, that was just super impressive, though, by Fresh there. He made at least 3 or 4 men miss near the line of scrimmage, got down to the 20, had to break another tackle, and then carried a man into the end zone with him. Fresh, of course, the Rice commit, and showing why there.
Yeah, and that's a next-level move, and LBJ able to take advantage of that strong return, and now they're going to have to do their job on special teams to try and give their defense some room behind them.
Well, a 1 minute, 2 second, 49-yard drive. Kicking away here for LBJ, Gerardo Benitez. A little short pooch end over end. Fair catch called for and made at the 37. Then he's run over. So that's going to add 15 yards. As Gunther made the fair catch call, and I don't think Darian Miller necessarily saw it as he was running down on coverage and just flat out ran the man over.
Yeah, that's one of those things where if you're going to be somebody laying the hits on special teams, you got to be able to pull up on the brakes, and whatever the case might be, either look at where the ball's going and who you're about to hit. And if he had his hand above his head, that's not fair game anymore.
Well, that's going to add 15 yards, and McCallum will start their drive exactly where LBJ started theirs, at their opponent's 49-yard line.
Yeah, that's kind of funny how it works out that way.
Well, here's Jackson Rosales, the sophomore quarterback, and he is playing his third full game as the starter. Remember, he played most of the opener as well after the starting quarterback went down and is lost for the year. So this is Rosales' team the rest of the way. Handoff up the middle to Caleb Brown, breaks a couple of tackles. He's out to the 41-yard line, so a really good pickup of 8 to start the drive here in McCallum.
Yeah, both teams able to find some early run game success, and both teams trying to get some early success on the scoreboard here as McCallum has their first offense possession.
McCallum will play at a little bit slower pace rather than LBJ will. LBJ is going to try to get up and snap the ball as many times as they can. McCallum purposely actually may try to slow this game down a little bit to limit possessions for LBJ. Two wide receivers and a heavy set across the line with Rosales taking the snap. Handoff again to Brown. He gets across the 40, but not much there. Ball comes out late. LBJ came up with it, but it looked like his forward progress was stopped. The referees, though, are going to say it's a fumble, and it will be LBJ football.
Yeah, that's a big part of this game, is holding on to the football throughout the completion of that whistle. And, I was zooming in right there, so people watching at home might have been able to see that run play a little bit better, but I couldn't see the actual runner go down, and I would assume the officials had the same general view of just massive bodies. And at the end, when LBJ had the ball and no whistle had been blown, the end of the play, I think the officials went with their gut and gave LBJ the turnover.
Yeah, it looked like his forward progress may have been stopped there, but like you said, you got to play to the whistle. 5 wide receivers out there. Would expect Donaldson to go back into the formation. He does not. Blitz coming from McCallum, stepping up, trying to escape it as Hunter Scott. He will not. He is dropped in the backfield. It's a sack picked up by McCallum, led out there by number 54, Connor Boggs, and a host of others.
Yeah, corner came in from the right side of the field, left side if you're looking at the defense, and they really did put pressure right away that forced him to navigate in the pocket and wasn't able to get where he wanted to be.
So a loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 here. Scott moves Sean Fresh to his right in the backfield. Will hand it off to Fresh over the left side. He tries to cut back up the middle, and he is hit hard as he tried to cut by Connor Boggs in there again. Excuse me, folks. That'll be a loss of another 2 yards, and here comes 3rd and very long.
Yeah, well, at least the McCallum defense is responding correctly after giving up that long touchdown and having to come back on the field so quickly following the turnover. They've done a good job putting this LBJ in a passing situation here on 3rd and long.
3rd down, 15 to go now for LBJ. They will go 5 wide receivers here. 2 deep safeties for McCallum. Everybody else playing within 1.5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Scott coming to his left, trying to escape pressure. He will tuck it, trying to run, and he will be met near the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a pickup of about 5 or 6, but way short of the first down as Gunther coming up to make the tackle. That'll bring up 4th down and 9, and LBJ will punt it away.
Yeah, McCallum doing a really good job that series, getting pressure into the backfield, forcing LBJ's defense or offensive line to break down and not really letting the receivers get open. So here comes the first 3 and out of the football game.
LBJ to punt. It is Fresh, the punter. A low line drive that will bounce, get past the returner, Zach Napier. He's just going to have to let this one roll. A favorable bounce for LBJ inside the 5. It will be marked at about the 2. So mark that one down as a 53-yard punt. A lot of roll on the action, but it doesn't matter how it happens. If you're LBJ, you'll just take it.
Yeah, well, McCallum will definitely be pinned deep, and you mentioned it earlier. They're going to want to play with a lot of time ticking off of that clock when they're not snapping the football. So right now, they're just going to have to try and get out of the shadow of their own goalposts.
And everybody on the offensive and defensive lines moving there before the snap. Rosales with Brown in the backfield. We'll see who they call this one on. It will be a false start.
Well, half the distance to the goal from the 3, so I guess it puts it on the 1.5 yard line.
Yep. First penalty of the ball game, or I should say first one against McCallum. McCallum lining up near the shadow of their own goalpost. Handoff to Brown up the middle. He is just able to get out, maybe pick up a yard, half a yard at most. 2nd down and 12 on the go, or 11 rather to go. That hole at the middle really closed quickly.
Yeah, and it's a tough passing situation to begin with, but then when we talk about the talent on the defensive side of the ball for LBJ, you're almost forced to keep the ball on the ground, and you might just have to accept the punt and do your best to make sure that you don't have a safety here and give your punter a little breathing room. As much as you hate to concede defeat on the first series, you're going to have to run the ball here.
7:09 to go in the opening frame. 7-0 LBJ leads McCallum. Rosales will take this one himself up over the left side, and that will get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more, and bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, that direct snap definitely makes sure that you don't have the safety so long as the snap is a clean one. And here it is, 3rd and 11 officially to the scoreboard, and I think McCallum will just go ahead and accept the minute that ticks off from this possession. Unless they can pull something off here. It is still 3rd and 11. I don't mean to bury this drive yet, but it's just a backbreaker when you have to be pinned that deep.
Try to give yourself some room to punt right here and live to fight another day, more than likely. This will be a handoff to Brown up the middle. He's able to shoot through for about a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Still shy of the 5-yard line, and that'll be a 3 and out for McCallum. They'll officially give him a 2-yard pickup. So the punt by Fresh to pin McCallum deep works well for LBJ. They should get great field position here on this punt.
Yeah, Makuba here is waiting around the 30, so
Trinidad De La Garza has his heels about 1 yard inside the end line back there in the end zone. He's able to kick it away. It's a high spiraling kick towards the sideline, no return. And we'll see where they mark it out of bounds. The officials collecting the football, and they will mark it right at the 38-yard line.
All things considered, yeah, De La Garza really did do a good job, as well as you could ask of him, to make sure there was no return and give your defense a little bit of space. We've seen, obviously, situations like that end up where teams started in the red zone because of such poor angle on a rush punt.
35-yard punt officially, but you're right. That took away the return completely, and at least will make LBJ drive it. Daquan Donaldson in the backfield to the left of Hunter Scott. Scott calls for the snap, takes it, hands off to Donaldson. Right up the middle. He makes a man miss. He is gone. Touchdown, LBJ. A 38-yard quick hitter from Daquan Donaldson.
Yeah, like you said, he just found his hole, and then nobody was catching up to him. And, you know, that's where you get the stopwatch out and see what their 40 time is, as that's about where we need about how far he ran. And, yeah, that's a big, tough call for McCallum, as they had to punt it away after not getting much on offense, and then immediately the next play give up a touchdown.
Well, 7 seconds officially on the drive, as the extra point is good. And your new score, with 5 minutes and 31 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. LBJ all over McCallum early, 14-0. But you know what? Not just the touchdown run, but credit the punt that set up the great field position, and it makes it easy, quick strike there for LBJ.
Yeah, you know, you go back to that one decision there by McCallum instead to let that punt roll, because it was a low roller that he maybe could have scooped up and tried to salvage a little bit, but that's a dangerous play. And instead, they do a good job on their coverage and get there to the 3, and all of a sudden, you know, that sets up the next offensive possession when your defense does their job and forces that 3 and out.
So McCallum will have to find some offense here, trying to strike back, down 14-0 in the first to LBJ. As the LBJ Jaguars have come out hot tonight. Defense playing well. Already with a fumble forced and a 3 and outs forced. McCallum still looking for their first down. Kickoff on the way. Another short, high end-over-end kick. Fair caught at the 38-yard line. And that's where McCallum will start this drive. Off the same place they started last time. Or 2 drives ago, I should say.
Yeah, this time no penalty, so that does help out a little bit for LBJ's defense. As you know, you almost wonder sometimes, as much as that's a big penalty to take, if that was almost a first opportunity to lay a hit down, and not something I condone, but definitely something that does happen every now and again in the sport.
Well, let's see how Rosales and the McCallum Knights offense react after the quick hit touchdown from LBJ. Handoff to Brown up the middle. Couple of good blocks. He's able to get out to the 40 and push forward to the 41, so a gain of 3 on first down.
Yeah, not the desired outcome, obviously, as they wanted to really establish a run game here so they can burn that clock, but now they almost need to establish the run game so they can pack that box and create some opportunities for passing opportunities. And
yeah, everything's been between the tackles so far for McCallum. Every play call, nothing out to the edges yet to the wide receivers, or even trying to get the running backs outside.
Yeah, it's tough defense to go up against.
Kind of a 4-3 traditional look here from LBJ. And there goes the whistle. I believe we got a delay of game, and we do. Well, that'll back McCallum up 5 yards. Here comes 2nd and 12 now instead, after a productive first play. Puts them back in 2nd and long. And McCallum, not necessarily a big hit, big play kind of team. They're not the team that can play from behind the sticks.
Yeah, we were talking about them making sure they could establish the run game, and obviously you wanted to play things safe back inside your own 5 on the last series, but here they're basically setting themselves up to have to throw because of that false start, or a delay of game, rather.
Handoff up the middle again to Brown. He's just got nowhere to go between the tackles. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but no more, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and that's what I was just referencing to. When you commit one of those 5-yard penalties and you force yourself on a 2nd and long, and one of these plays, you're pretty much almost forced to pass unless you can break out one of those big runs. And didn't look like that was going to be the run. So here we'll see what McCallum has up their sleeve.
3rd and 10 now. McCallum with 3 wide receivers in the formation. Also kind of a tight end H-back back there. And everybody jumped, but I think LBJ did not get back on time before the left tackle moved.
One of those situations where everyone's pointing at each other.
It looked like LBJ jumped first, and that made the left tackle move. That's what I would see. It will be encroachment.
And that's a big break for McCallum to go ahead and knock out 5 of those yards and maybe go back to that run game to try and pick up this first down. And then, you're at that spot and you're down 2 touchdowns where maybe you do consider an early 4th down conversion attempt if you don't pick up the 5 yards you need right here.
Well, 3rd and 5 here for McCallum, at their own 43-yard line. 4 minutes even to go in the first quarter. They are down 2 touchdowns here early. McCallum still looking for their opening first down of the game as well. Fake the handoff. Rosales going right. He's got a blocker in front of him. Instead, will lay it off into the flat. It is caught. It's a first down across the 50. Brock Fanning on the reception, and that will pick up about 12 yards at a first down.
Yeah, first down for the Knights, and, I think that's sort of the play that they were looking to run before the encroachment call, and then that made it that much easier for them to pick up the first down. And we talked about it. They were going to have to pass eventually. There you go.
Well, nice job by Rosales, too. He let the defender come in as far as he possibly could before throwing that ball, and it left the receiver wide open out there for the easy catch.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to bait that defense a little bit and give your receiver a little time to get to his spot, and he did a great job.
So McCallum back in LBJ territory here on 1st and 10. Handoff to Brown over the right side. He got a couple of good pancake blocks, but just couldn't get around him as he picks up 1 out to the 45. The right side of the line moved the defensive line well, but I just don't think Brown hit the hole quick enough to be able to take advantage.
Yeah, and that's really, like you said, really good blocking on the right side. They did their job, but maybe not quite the opportunity to cut outside or cut between the blocks as he followed them, but just couldn't quite find the extra yard that he wanted to pick up or 2.
2nd down, 9 to go as we get close to closing out the opening quarter of play. LBJ nearly jumped. Looked like the linebacker is going to come in there, and McCallum calls timeout after seeing the defensive movement. As LBJ looked like they were going to bring a 5th or maybe 6th rusher on that play. And McCallum's coach over there did not like what he saw and decided to bring his troops over. 14-0 your score. McCallum trails LBJ here at House Park in the opening quarter. 2 touchdowns so far for LBJ. 1 on the opening drive of the game. Took just 1 minute and 2 seconds to strike a 49-yard drive, 35-yard touchdown pass from Scott to Sean Fresh, who he made about 5 different McCallum Knights miss on a quick little bubble screen and got all the way to the end zone there. A couple of a turnover and a few punts. And then LBJ struck quickly again halfway through the quarter. First play of the drive, 38-yard touchdown run from Daquan Donaldson. And that is where we stand, 14-0. Here you got 2nd and 9 for McCallum. They'll hand off to Brown over the right side. A little counter play. And again, just a pickup of 1. Lamel Hicks steps up to make the tackle there for LBJ. And here's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, well, when you have those tight corners, you almost those really good corners on the LBJ defense, you almost force the opponents to try and establish a run game early, but that gives your front 5 a lot of opportunity to pretty much put pressure in those trenches, and that's what LBJ has been able to do, just bottle up anything that has tried to go between the tackles.
Well, here you go on 3rd and 8. Hand off to Brown, makes a man miss in the backfield, now gets across the 40 to the left side, cuts up to the 35, and that'll be a first down run. Best run of the night so far for Caleb Brown, and a pickup of 9 moves the sticks.
Yeah, and like you said, best run of the night, keeps them on the field, and he really did lower his shoulder to make sure that this wouldn't be a situation where the team had to debate going for it on 4th down. And And now if they were to try and hit fourth down, it wouldn't be a bad idea considering the score. You don't want to get caught behind too much this early.
7th play of the drive here for McCallum. Stacked receivers on each side. Handoff, fake to Brown. Rosales keeps it around the left side, and he is unable to escape. As trying to catch the number out there, looked like almost a 0 from far enough away. In fact, I think that's what number it is, but I don't see a 0 on the roster.
The infamous JV call-up, as I like to call him, making his run. First time I think we've seen really zone read in which Rosales decided to try and keep it and take it outside, but just the speed of that LBJ defense, a little too much for the sophomore.
They're very, very quick. Reminds me a little bit of a Shadow Creek team last year that went all the way to the state finals. One of the fastest teams I've ever seen at the high school level. Here's Brown over the right side again. He'll plunge forward to the 31, pick up a couple. And that brings up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, we talk about it. McCallum definitely controlling time of possession despite the score, but a lot of that is because LBJ scored so quickly. That might be the final play of the quarter.
They can let the quarter bleed, and that's exactly what McCallum will do here as we will flip the field. And after 1 quarter of play, LBJ leads the McCallum Knights by a score of 14-0, but the Knights are driving at 3rd and 7. Coming your way when we come back. This is AISD Thursday Night Football's Game of the Week on SHN Sports, presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com.
Well, the first play of the second quarter was an incomplete pass on 3rd and 7 from Jackson Rosales, and McCallum will stay out there and go for this 4th down and 7 from the LBJ 31. LBJ leads it 14-0, scoring a pair of touchdowns in the opening frame. And here McCallum already kind of in no man's land, but really needs to get some offense going against this terrific LBJD. Rosales rolls to his right, looking for someone. He's got a man in the flat, doesn't see him. Instead, he will be taken down in the backfield, and that will be a turnover on downs. He had Brock Fanning wide open across the field in the flat and would have picked up a first down if he had just spotted him.
Yeah, that's a tough play for a scrambling quarterback to make because I think he's more concerned with the shorter field of vision than the further field of vision. So instead of being able to line up a throw, he was just running for his down life, if you will. So in that particular case, he wasn't able to find any room, and that creates the turnover on downs.
Well, turnover on downs, it was about a 5-minute and 40-some-odd second drive. Went 10 plays, but nothing doing for McCallum there. And here comes LBJ. It'll be their 4th possession of the evening. Scott takes it, hands off left side to Fresh. Shakes and bakes. He's across the 34, 35-yard line. And a pickup of 3 there on first down from Sean Fresh.
Yeah, I think McCallum really is trying to buckle up on everything, almost go assignment football at this point, making sure that nobody really gets away from him. And that time they were able to keep that from going for a first down, if not more. They've seen a lot of explosive plays so far this game.
Alvino Carbajal made the tackle there. Here's 2nd and 6. Scott takes it. Again, handoff up the middle, and this one hit in the backfield, taken down. Daquan Donaldson goes nowhere as Caleb Green got in there quick. 3rd and 6 now for LBJ as McCallum's defense looks to get off the field and get their offense back out there. And this is a way McCallum can get in this game, though, is if they can do these long, sustained drives. Even if you don't score, but you get a 3-and-out on the other side, you can start wearing that defense for LBJ down. Here's a long pass down the right side. It will be just a little bit too far for Andrew Makuba. And there's the 3-and-out for LBJ.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about your offense really burning a lot of clock is that it gives your defense not only time to, get their legs back under them, but also time to communicate what's going on out there that's caused us to get down by 2 touchdowns. And the coaches can communicate with the players on what they need to do. And, I think that time of possession, even though not going anywhere on the scoreboard, has really helped out defensive strategy.
Well, but again, on the other side, it might start wearing down that LBJ defense too. More plays out there having to fight off. There's a low snap, low line drive. It is caught this time, though, by Zach Napier, saving some yardage. He'll be pulled down at the 35, but a wise decision to make that catch. If he lets that bounce and roll, more than likely, McCallum again would be stuck inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, learning from past experiences is what you need to do in this sport, in any sport for sure, in life in general. But in that particular case, there is that big difference that could have happened earlier where your offense was set up inside their own 5 by not making that dangerous play. This time he elected to make the harder catch and sets up his offense for a little more success.
Oh, here you go. 1st and 10 for McCallum from their own 35. They're back with the football already, and there's the whistle down as I believe McCallum moved a bit, and they will back it up 5 yards. It'll be a false start against the Knights.
Yeah, for a team that is relying so much on their running game, those false starts are understandable because you want to get ahead on the blocking part of things, but also you got to be really on cue and make sure that you don't cost your team 5 yards. So not necessarily a catch-22. It's very simple. When the ball is snapped, you start to make your blocks, but there is an eagerness to getting a step on these defenders.
Well, 1st and 15 now, 4 wide set. Handoff to Brown. He's hitting the backfield. Tries to get out of the tackle. Can't do so. Really good play shooting through the hole there, or shooting through the gap there by Omarion Neal, the linebacker. That'll be a loss of 2 and bring up 2nd and 17.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's Groundhog Day for the run game, as it really is going to come down to can they break off a big run or two, so maybe they can get a explosive play into the end zone similar to LBJ earlier in the first quarter.
Callum really tight in the formation here. This one a handoff over the right side. Now cutting back up the middle is Brown. He's across the 30. Nothing much doing, though. Short pickup of 2 on the play, and that brings up 3rd and 15.
Yeah, we talk about these obvious passing downs, but Rosales is pressured so much in the backfield, and then obviously, as you see in the run game, the trenches can kind of get pushed back a little bit by this very this front line of the Jaguars that you're going to be hard-pressed to really do more than any kind of quick passes, but maybe a screen is set up here for an opportunity to try and pick up this needed 15 yards.
Rolling right, Rosales. Looking downfield, got nowhere to go with it. Tries to tuck and run, and he just is spun down over near the sideline by Lamel Hicks, the linebacker. I'll tell you what, this linebacking core for LBJ has been super impressive so far here early. Very quick to the football, attacking the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a 3-and-out for McCallum.
Yeah, early in the season, but I would have to say that this defense is among the most impressive that we've seen on AISD Thursday Night Game of the Week. Obviously Cedar Creek up there, but in this particular case, they have pretty much shut down this McCallum offense. They had a nice little drive earlier, but weren't able to get anything going.
Well, the punt away here from Trinidad de la Garza. It's an angled punt to the sideline. We'll see where it gets marked out, as there will be no return. And officially, the ball marked out at the 43-yard line for LBJ. So good field position again for the Jaguars as they take over with 8:21 to go here in the opening half.
Yeah, well, it's time for McCallum's defense to find that momentum that forced the 3-and-out on their last drive. And, I don't necessarily think that it's one of those situations you can ask them to do it, but if they can score defensively or on special teams before the half, that will really help their offense kind of have a sigh of relief.
Yeah, McCallum's really in need of the big play here as the handoff over the left side goes to Donaldson. Actually, it's fake. They'll throw back near side to Fresh. Shake and bake, and there goes Fresh. Out to the 30, to the 20, down the sideline. Makes another man miss inside the 10 and wrestled down from behind at the 6. A heck of a catch and run from Sean Fresh. A pickup of 52 on the play.
Yeah, that looked a lot like a play that we saw earlier that he was able to score on, and this time they got to him 5 yards before the end zone, but they're going to try and tempo them and make sure that they can take advantage of a huff and puff in defense.
Well, here's a quick handoff to Donaldson, and he will be taken down at the 5-yard line, so no pickup there on first down. I'll tell you what, Sean Fresh, more moves than Mick Jagger out there.
Yeah, that was he's had a few nice moves just to make the defenders miss, and one of those, you think you got it, but you don't, and you have an angle. Although here comes something against LBJ. I didn't quite see what it was, but that'll back them up and take a little bit.
Maybe they weren't set.
I think it was an illegal shift.
Yeah, I don't think they got set in time. So actually it's going to be first down. No official play there. First and goal from the 10-yard line here for LBJ, moving to the north end zone. Quick snap, throw right side, got a man in the corner. It is knocked down. Ball intended for Andrew Makuba, but coming across on the play and knocking the ball down, Jake Hissey, the sophomore, and it's second down and goal to go.
Yeah, that ball thrown into traffic, but obviously McCallum here trying their bend, don't break, and they did a solid job of converging on that pass that hung up a little bit.
There's a handoff right side, Donaldson. He will make a man miss, cut upfield. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, LBJ. Daquan Donaldson with his second score of the night, and that extends the Jaguar lead to 3 scores.
Yeah, Donaldson also showing off some of his moves on the field there as he picks up, as you said, his second touchdown, and very similar fashion, just this slight little misdirection to change the angle of the defender and then cuts back towards the corner and was able to find his running lane right into the 6 points.
Well, there's a firework that just got shot off over the hill down there, and up and in goes the extra point. And your new score with 7:36 to go here in the first half of play. LBJ all over McCallum, 21-0. That, by the way, a 3-play, 57-yard drive that took, let me do some quick math here, 24 plus another 21, 45 seconds.
Yeah, and that's kind of the tale of two sides of the ball here, as McCallum is not showing any points on the board but taking a lot of the time off, and the other way, LBJ wants to run fast, get back to that line of scrimmage, and they do that exceptionally well. I would say only Georgetown does it at a similar level, almost a higher level, but those two teams, man, that would be a fun matchup, basketball on grass.
Well, and it's something you theoretically could see later this year. These two districts that Georgetown play in District 11 and McCallum here in LBJ in District 12, they match up with each other in week 1 of the playoffs every single year. So it actually is a possibility later on this season. That's something you could see. Here's the kickoff on the way from LBJ. Little pop-up kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 40. And that's where McCallum will take over as Zach Napier made the catch.
Yeah, third kickoff in a row where they've just kept it high and short, not really allowing a return, but conceding a fairly short field. And obviously that first one ended up starting on the Jaguars side of the field because of the penalty, but they're fine giving them that 40 yards, knowing that they could probably shut down that run game all night.
Well, the Jaguar student section just below us to our left, loving every second of it tonight as their team leads it 21-0. Here's McCallum Handoff to Brown, pulling a couple of guards. He will follow them across to the 44-yard line. Really nice first down run there. And you could kind of see what McCallum's trying to do now. Instead of just fire off the ball and run directly at our LBJ, maybe pull a couple of guards and open some lanes that way for their very, very talented running back, Caleb Brown.
Yeah, they're going to have to get creative for Brown because, as we've mentioned several times, this LBJ defense is stellar to start this ball game, and obviously they were able to force that turnover on the first offensive drive.
Second down, 6 to go. Low snap, fake handoff, and Rosales is taken down in the backfield. Credit big number 52, Fred Givens, for getting in there and making the tackle. That'll be a loss of 5 on the play, and it's 3rd and 11.
Yeah, that low snap was all the time that the defensive line needed to get into the backfield, and really Rosales just had to do his best to cover the ball. As soon as he had it in his hands, he wanted to make sure that it wasn't exposed and had to go down and take that loss.
Third down and 11 now for McCallum. Rosales and the McCallum offense will have a delay of game called against them there. The Jaguars thought it might have been a timeout called. Their coaching staff was going to talk, and the team was walking off the field. I don't think they realized that was a penalty against McCallum. And to their credit, and defense rather, I didn't see a flag actually thrown, so I can't blame them for thinking that.
Yeah, the flag was very casually thrown, but it would have been a better timeout.
Rosales back, trying to set up a screen. He's got it to Brown, but he is hit immediately and wrestled down in the backfield. Looked to be Darian Miller, the defensive lineman, making the tackle. It'll be a loss of 4, and McCallum just going backwards on this drive. They need the 50, as it is 4th and 20.
Yeah, I mentioned that screen setup play earlier, but probably not the best time to do that. But the sophomore Rosales, you haven't really seen him make too many deep throws, so that's something he might need to do as they go later on district play.
There's another angled kick toward the sideline, trying to take the return out of the hands of Makuba. Instead, he's able to pick that one off the turf, and he's taken down about where he fielded the football at the 43-yard line. 5:12 to go here in the first half. LBJ leads at 21-0, and they will take back over with great field position once again. Seems like every one of their drives is starting at the 40-yard line or better.
Yeah, and, it seems to me that that's something that gives them a good amount of confidence for these explosive plays because they execute quickly and they're able to give a lot of opportunities to their explosive players.
Actually, just looked it up. The worst starting field position LBJ has had tonight has been their own 32. Everything else has been at the 43 or better. 4 wide receivers set here. Snap to Scott. He will hand it off to Donaldson, who is submarined at the 46-yard line. Didn't see who made the tackle there, but it'll be a pickup of 3 and bring up second down.
Yeah, even those quote-unquote boring plays that are just simple handoffs result in pretty solid gains.
Second down, 7 to go as LBJ beginning to slow the pace down just a bit here. Hunter Scott motioning fresh back out to the far sideline with his 5 receiver set. Blitz coming from McCallum off the edge. Scott escapes it. Now he's going to take it himself across the 50, and he gets out to about the 48-yard line, about 1.5 yards short of the first down. But a good read there by Hunter Scott because McCallum had a free man coming off the edge in the name of Jack Wayne Cooksey.
Yeah, and Scott really just made a positive out of a negative and was able to find his way, scamper almost for a first down.
Sorry, that was actually August McCallum. He's coming off the edge there. Here's 3rd and about 2 now for LBJ. Scott hands off to Donaldson up the middle. Big hole. He's across the 40 to the 35, out to the 30. and taken down there, but another large gainer for Taquan Donaldson. That's at least his third run tonight of 15 yards or more. It's a first down. That one picks up 18.
Yeah, and another explosive play and right back to the line.
Scott back to pass, looking right, scrambles out right, being chased down from behind and taken down after 25. Caleb Green on the tackle, but Scott able to pick up 6 there on the scramble, so it's second down and 4.
Yeah, another one of those good heads-up play by Scott where he felt the pressure coming from behind, still kept his eyes down the field, but decided to run and pick up the gain instead of force a throw.
They will throw again. This time looking right, fires. Got a man incomplete off the hands of Andrew Makuba, just a little too tall, and it's 3rd and 4.
A rare third down for the McCallum defense here, and it would be a great opportunity to force this 4th down, even though LBJ would probably go for it here in no man's land.
Well, LBJ stays in the 5-wide set, and now time called by McCallum officially. It will be their second timeout used here in the first half. With 3 minutes, 12 seconds to go, LBJ leads this thing 21-0 here on AISD's Thursday night Game of the Week presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Let's run you down some scores from around the area real quick. Few games in action tonight. Liberty Hill is all over Pflugerville Connolly in the first half, 24-0 up at the field. Bowie by the same score over Del Valley. That went down at Berger Stadium. That's just in the second quarter. Also in the second, a good one up at Nelson Field as Hayes leads Anderson 7-6. And then, right here at House Park, LBJ over McCallum 21-0.
Yeah, we approach a huge third down for the Knights defense, and LBJ, if they can keep them out of the end zone for this final 3:12, at least you can feel like you have some kind of victory, because if LBJ comes up 4 touchdowns going into the locker room, that's going to almost feel like a defeated sense going into halftime.
Well, here's 3rd and 4. Scott looks back. They will run an inside screen. Got the man. It's complete to Makubu. He is off to the races. He is in. Touchdown, LBJ. A 24-yard strike to Andrew Makuba. And it's a 4-score lead.
Yeah, well, as we were just discussing a moment ago, that's one of those situations where it's a backbreaker for the defense and the team as a whole, because it's like they can't stop this team. And as we see some lightning happening over towards the Austin skyline, that's just a tough break for the Knights.
Extra point, by the way, up and good. And your new score with 3:07 to go here in the first half of play. LBJ has extended their lead to 28-0. Second touchdown pass of the game, by the way, for Hunter Scott. 2 on the ground as well for McCallum, both by Donaldson. Makuba, the third player to reach pay dirt tonight for LBJ. That drive goes 6 plays and took 2 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. Took 57 yards to cross the field and get to the end zone.
Yeah, that might as well have been possession play for LBJ as quickly as they've been scoring.
It is actually their longest scoring possession of the night. The other 3 times they scored a touchdown have taken 3 plays, 1 play, and 3 plays. Well, LBJ to kick off again. They will likely stick with that high pop-up kick and just force McCallum to a fair catch. It is what they do. Towards the near sideline. They will not fair catch at McCallum. Zach Napier trying to return to the near sideline. He is tackled at the 38, though. Taken down by Jay Riggins there. And McCallum will take over with 3:04 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, this time they elect not to fair catch it, because like I said, this is one of those situations where you almost need to expect your defense or special teams to score if you want to come back, get into this ball game.
Well, at some point, too, if you're McCallum, you don't fair catch just to try to make something happen. You know, you're down 28-0 already here in the second quarter, and you got to try to stop this avalanche coming at you. There goes a handoff to Brown. He's untouched across the 45. Bowls a man over across the 50 out into LBJ territory. That was Jay Riggins that he just ran over all the way out to the 48-yard line. A gain of 14 and a first down.
Yeah, Brown found a nice cut after taking to the right side of his line. And, you know, this is the best opportunity for McCallum here. No time like the present. And if they can score a touchdown, they can have a little momentum going into the locker room. So I think that that's the message that they're trying to relay to each other on the field out there for the Knights.
Well, first down here on the second play of the drive after McCallum was able to pick up a first. There's a handoff again this time. Brown taken down shy of the sticks as it was Omarion Neal coming up with the tackle on the loss of 1 on the play.
Well, Brown, he's not quite Superman, so a nice run the first time. And at a certain point, the McCallum offense just is a little bit predictable. So they know he's going to get the ball, and one of those situations where almost a trick play might have to be pulled out of the Knights' pocket.
Yeah, you surely know the talent on the defensive side. There's a throw. It is intercepted. Going the other way is Neal. He is being untouched, chased to the 10, to the 5, and tackled just shy of the end zone. Actually, they're going to give it to him. Touchdown, LBJ, Omarion Neal with a 51-yard pick six.
You know, the referee came in and waved. I think that's going to – they should give the big man the touchdown. I think there was a little bit
He was down a yard short. It sure looked like from up here.
There might be a discussion real quick on whether it's a point after or a first and goal from the 1. But I say give the big man his 6 points. You know, that he ran the whole way, and the referee might go ahead and say that he had the angle, but I think that in those kind of situations, you go ahead and give the man his well-earned points because defense doesn't score often.
Oh, they're putting him in. Maybe they're going to try to put him at running back here and give him a shot.
And that's what you should do, especially at 28-0. Go ahead and maybe give a little fullback dive right here.
There you go. They got him in the huddle going back out there, so trying to reward Omarion Neal, the linebacker, if you can. Let's see where they put him in the formation. Well, let's see. They got him on the right side of the line, so might just be in there to block. I was hoping, like you, they'd give him a shot. Instead, they got the big man at fullback in the I formation, Laren Davis. And the handoff up the middle to Donaldson is a touchdown. And LBJ is extending the lead and putting a hurt on McCallum now. 5th touchdown of the first half for LBJ and the 3rd for Daquan Donaldson.
Yeah, we mentioned it. It's going to have to be the McCallum defense to score in order for the Knights to maybe find some momentum. Instead, it's the LBJ defense that almost scores, forcing their 2nd turnover of the evening. And, man, this Knight locker room is going to be a quiet one going into halftime other than the coaches yelling.
Extra point on the way. It is true. And your new score with 1:35 to go in the opening half of play at House Park. LBJ all over McCallum tonight in the opener of district play by a score of 35-0.
Yeah, well, what a way to start district. And LBJ obviously trying to bounce back from their first loss of the season. So they've definitely done that to where, you know, it's one of those things where you can't win a game in the first half, but you can lose a game in the first half. And I'd have to say that LBJ has won this game in the first half.
Yeah, and LBJ, you know, they have not put more than 35 on the board all season long. Their most points this year have been 35. That was against Elgin back in the opening week win here at home, 35-27 the score in that game. They only put 14 points on the board at Los Fresnos in a victory down there, and then lost last week 21-7 to La Vega. So the offense exploding tonight. And really it's been two guys kind of carrying the bulk of the load as Daquan Donaldson has 3 touchdown runs, and then Sean Fresh with a touchdown, but also a couple of other big plays on the outside as well. There's a high end over end kick, fair catch called and made by Brock Fanning at the 36-yard line. So McCallum likely with their final chance here in the second quarter with 1:35 to go.
Yeah, and only one timeout here, so it's a tough question. Do you go ahead and go with your run game and almost concede the score and hope that maybe one big run will go ahead and get you your points, or just go in the locker room and bring it to the second half?
I said 35, I meant 37. Handoff, almost bobbled in the backfield on the exchange, and Caleb Brown just cannot get any running room tonight against this LBJ defense, as the linebackers are playing within 3 yards of the ball and just attacking the line of scrimmage every play right now, knowing that the run game is what's coming.
Yeah, exactly. We've mentioned that before, where the McCallum Knights, they lose their starting quarterback game one, and they throw in a sophomore, and you don't want to turn the ball over too much for someone who should basically be developing.
Yeah, and then you throw him out there in a game like this also, where he's playing against some of the best corners in the Austin area, as a run to the outside on the right by Brown goes nowhere. That entire left side of the defensive line just got a great push and got into the backfield, and Brown, as he was trying to turn the corner, had nowhere to go, just ran into the back of his own offensive lineman there. A loss of about 3 on the play, and here comes 3rd and 15.
Yeah, I wonder here if they're going to be content going for one more snap to send this into the locker room. Obviously not taking knee, but still.
Again, Brown tackled immediately in the backfield. Just absolutely no running room tonight for him or the McCallum offense. That was the Texas Southern commit Gabe Smith shooting in there for the tackle. And LBJ looks content to let the clock run as well. And that will end the first half of the play, one dominated by the LBJ Jaguars tonight here at House Park Stadium. Your score after 24 minutes of football, LBJ is all over McCallum, 35-0. We're back with a quick scoring recap here and the halftime shows on the field in just a minute. This is AISD's Thursday Night Football Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
If you or your family couldn't work for 6 to 12 months due to a serious illness or major accident, how would that affect you or your family financially? Hi friends, I'm Rob Hipp. I offer products that can help during the tough and unforeseen times. For more information, please call me directly at 512-522-9105. Again, that number is 512-522-9105. Central Texas High School football on SHN Sports is made possible by Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company. 3 words describe Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company: simple, reliable, and awesome. We support our community. From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products, Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company helps put your brand on your business. Get started on your project today by getting a quick and easy quote online at GeorgetownShirtCompany.com. 2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at GeorgetownJewelry.com.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Well, back here at House Park at halftime, where LBJ leads McCallum 35-0. Let's give you a quick rundown of what happened in the first half, a quick scoreboard update, then we'll let you listen in to these great halftime performances from both of the bands here tonight. It has been all LBJ this evening. A 3-play, 49-yard drive to start the game. Took just a minute and 2 seconds, capped off by a 35-yard pass from Hunter Scott to Sean Fresh. Fresh made about 5 men miss on a bubble screen pass that he took 35 yards to the house, and that made it 7-0. After a few punts and exchange of possessions, a 1-play, 38-yard drive as Daquan Donaldson had his first of 3 touchdown runs in the first half for LBJ, making it 14-0. McCallum would have a long 10-play drive. It would turn to a turnover on downs. The teams would exchange punts, and then LBJ, halfway through the second quarter, would turn back to Donaldson. This one a 10-yard touchdown run to cap off a 3-play, 57-yard drive. Took just 45 seconds, making it 21-0. The very next drive for LBJ. After a McCallum 3-and-out, LBJ goes 6 plays. They go 57 yards once again, taking 2:05 off the clock. Capped off by a 24-yard touchdown pass from Hunter Scott to Andrew Makuba. His second touchdown pass of the night for Scott, making it 28-0. An interception returned by Omarion Neal all the way down to the 1-yard line. Took just 1 play for Donaldson to punch it in for his 3rd touchdown run of the night. 35-0 your score there, and that is where we stand at the half as LBJ is just all over McCallum. McCallum can get nothing going right now on offense. The running game just not there. LBJ stacking the box, and McCallum unable to get anything through the air happening as well. Just 1 completion so far for McCallum tonight.
Yeah, and that's something that we've been harping on during that entire first half, is that the Knights don't really have a wide playbook. It's run left, run right, run up the middle, and we saw a couple opportunities where maybe there was a bootleg or to try and extend the plays so maybe the receivers can run along with Rosales, but that one screen that was, you could really see the youth honestly at the quarterback position for McCallum, and that's where you talk about the unfortunate tearing of an ACL to start a season on a non-contact second part of the season. So when you really move on to it, the Knights have a tough situation that they have to deal with all season long, and LBJ is providing a little bit of a blueprint on how to stop them.
Well, quick update from scores from around the area as Liberty Hill leads Connolly 24-0 at the half. Late in the second quarter, Bowie over Del Valley 24-7. And at the half as well, Hayes on top of Anderson 14-6 as district play is underway all around the Austin area beginning tonight. Here it's 35-0 LBJ on top of McCallum in the Division I 5A District 12 opener. We're going to step aside for the rest of halftime, let you hear the performances from both of the great bands from each school as the hard work and dedication these kids put into their craft should be rewarded, and we'll let you hear from them as well. We'll be back after halftime for the second half of tonight's game. 35-0. LBJ leads it on AISD's Thursday Night Football Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry.
The LBJ First Ladies. The band is under the direction of Brian Mayer, Dr. Chris Lysak, and Ponder East. Color guard director is Herbert Washington. Drum majors are Amanda Lee, Mackenzie Wallace, Kristen Teal, and Spencer Wallace. Percussion tech is Dana Goski. Color guard tech is Grace Allen. A big thank you to our amazing band parents for all of your support. We appreciate you. The band's show is entitled Getting Even and features even-numbered works by Vivaldi, Beethoven, Barry Manilow, Tchaikovsky, Grover Washington Jr., and more. Featured musicians tonight are Deanne Yu, Maya Ravi, Sammy Alvarez. The LBJ Marching Band. Principal of the LBJ Early College High School is Tracy Wright. Principal of the Liberal Arts and Science Academy is Stacia Krasinski. President of the Jaguar Band is Sammy Alford. Vice President is Phil Metcalf. Brass Captain is Craven Tisdale. Woodwind Captain is Ian Hughes. Percussion Captain is Alex Hochstein. Thank you for your attention. Go Jaguars.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2019-2020 McCallum High School Band. Under the field direction of drum majors Dexter Canning and Jonah Brown, the officers of the Mac Band are President Jackson Bennett, Vice President Sarah Schneider, Secretary Treasurer Scarlett Fries, and Reporter Historian Bobby Curry. Our Freshman of the Week is Hank Kirby. Our Member of the Week is Carter Torn. And our Section of the Week is the Front Ensemble. Congratulations. The Mac Band is one of the premier 5A bands in the state of Texas. They have performed at the Alamo Dome twice in the UIL 5A State Marching Contest and have been named a 5A Honor Band finalist 4 times by the Texas Music Educators Association. This is a record for all AISD schools. This coming June, the MAC Band will travel to New York City to perform for the 7th time at one of the world's most prestigious concert venues, Carnegie Hall. Tonight, we present movements 1, 2, 3, and 4 of our UIL contest show, Forever in Stone, featuring the music of Rachmaninoff, Kelly, Preston and Fisher, based on the ancient tale of Medusa. This year's production is a tribute to former band parent Henry Stone. Now, if you would, please welcome the McCallum High School Band. Dancer of the Week is Alyssa Sparks. This evening, the Blue Brigade performs a kick routine to the popular Seven Nation Army. The McCallum Blue Brigade. The directors of the Mac Band are Carol Nelson, Matt Taylor, Zach Travis, and Jeff Rudy. The color guard is directed by Nick Resendez, and the front ensemble is directed by Ruben Rodriguez. The Blue Brigade sponsor is Nancy Searle. Principal of McCallum High School is Brandy Hosak. Assistant principals are Gabe Reyes.
Well, back here at House Park as halftime is coming to an end. Great job by both bands. As I don't know if you noticed out there, folks, actually on the McCallum side at least, one football player at least and a cheerleader out there playing in the band as well. So always kind of cool when you can see the multiple things that students do during the season. If you've never seen the bands perform as well, like during the off season in the summertime, they're out there in the heat. And I live right by Rouse High School. I ride by them all the time during the summer. They're out there in the heat of the day, 6, 7, 8 hours a day practicing to get every step, every note right because they do this, and it's all comes to fruition on a beautiful night like tonight.
Yeah, and, they run sprints with their equipment because they kind of need to get on and off the field in an efficient manner. They sometimes have to practice on blacktops. So, yeah, the marching band's definitely a big part of Friday night, not just between the halftime periods, as first and second half they provide a lot of atmosphere, but really they're the half times. It's some of the best parts of the game, and we are always happy to air those when we can. Hopefully we don't get hit with any copyrights, as sometimes they're that good that YouTube thinks that we're playing copywritten music.
I actually was talking to my uncle on the way down. My cousin is he's in a very, very prestigious band down in Florida. Not a marching band, but like an orchestra-style band. And he's in high school, and their performance, apparently, they did some Disney music recently, and it was so good that they were told not ahead of time, do not record this and put it on YouTube because it will automatically get taken down for copyright infringement. It's pretty funny.
and that's almost a compliment there. If Shazam can pick you up, then you are doing a good job.
Brad Tillery, Carl Schoening here with you at House Park. 35-0 your score. LBJ leads McCallum as we set to kick off the second half. It has been all LBJ Jaguars so far tonight. McCallum just unable to get anything going on offense, whereas LBJ has been mixing it up with the run and the pass. 2 touchdown passes tonight from the quarterback, Hunter Scott. 3 TD runs from Daquan Donaldson out of the backfield. And the Jaguars wearing white tonight will kick off going right to left. There's a little bit of lightning off in the distance. Don't see any strikes, just kind of almost like heat lightning a little bit higher up in the air. We hope that stays far enough away to squeeze this in here tonight, as there have been some storms in the area today, but the storms and the rain especially welcome. We've been in a drought, of course, here in the Austin area, and it has cooled down the weather significantly this evening. Boot meets leather. We're underway here in the second half. Fair catch called for and made at the 23-yard line by Brock Fanning, and that's where McCallum will take over.
Yeah, opportunity for McCallum here to start the second half on the right foot, because they maybe will come out with a new game plan, but it was almost exclusively a run game in the first half, in which case a stacked box from the Jaguars has really shut that down. And anytime they did try to pass, Rosales would be flushed out of the pocket pretty quickly.
I forgot the rule. It's actually a 25 because he fair caught it inside the 25. So 1st and 10 to McCallum. Handoff to Brown, trying to bounce up the middle. And, man, that LBJ defense is just swarming tonight against the run game. Back to the line of scrimmage, but no more for Malcolm Brown. Or Caleb Brown, rather. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, again, right back to sort of a predictable offense. So you would think at some point they might try to open up the playbook and maybe work a screen or 2 in there, but you're going up against probably the best corners duo in the area, so LBJ will probably keep this on the ground for the McCallum Knights offense before it even gets rolling.
All the running tonight, we haven't really called the names of Latrell McCutcheon or Sean Fresh on the outside. There goes Rosales, the quarterback, on the keeper far end around, and he is tackled for a sack, loss of 2 on the play. Looked like number 16 stepped up on the tackle, Isaiah Garcia, and there's 3rd down.
Yeah, Rosales is basically at the point where he's being chased all night long if he's the one who elects to keep it. And every now and again he will get an opportunity to try and make a play with his legs, but so far really unable to get anything going with his arm.
Jackson Rosales stands back. 3rd and 13 here for McCallum. Fly sweep on the way. And taken down there at the line of scrimmage one more time. A little bit different look for McCallum. First time they tried that end-around flying sweep, but Major Font just not able to go anywhere there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's at least some attempted creativity to try and bring it over to the wide side of the field and maybe find a little bit of a way to work it to the sideline and pick up that 1st down. Instead, time for the punting unit.
Well, McCallum will punt. Every possession for McCallum has ended in either a punt or a turnover tonight. 3 and out to start the second quarter. There's an angled punt again. This one's going to be very short. It'll bounce all the way into the student section here for LBJ. And the officials will mark this out right at the 40-yard line. So just a 19-yard punt for McCallum, and LBJ has great field possession.
They're chanting, throw it back, as if it was a home run for football, or baseball rather. But yeah, a packed student crowd out here on a Thursday night. You love to see it, and LBJ trying to get district started off right. They're doing so with the scoreboard and the fan support. So where I went to school for college, if the extra point got kicked into the student section, they would actually throw the ball up the stands all the way out the stadium. Because it's the other team's football. There's a quick screen, other side, and bye-bye LBJ. Touchdown, Danny Davis. 40 yards on the screenplay. 3rd touchdown pass of the Knights for Hunter Scott, and it didn't take long. That, by the way, is, I believe, the 4th possession tonight that LBJ has scored on the first play. Yeah, the Jaguars like to run fast, up-tempo, like we were saying, and they do it right there on the first possession. And McCallum winning the possession battle mainly because they have such a strong run game, and LBJ is so quick to score. And I go ahead and add on that extra point, and it looks like LBJ will basically continue all that momentum they grabbed in the first half, and here with a 42-0 lead. McCallum almost playing to avoid injuries at this point is what you're kind of hoping. But there are things they can try to maybe improve. And at this point, go ahead and let Rosales get a little opportunity to throw that football would be what I would say. Because what's the worst that happens is that the game becomes further out of reach. And, there are opportunities here that can be had to learn and develop in a 42-0 ball game.
And especially against the competition out there on the corners. Like we talked about, McCutcheon rather, and Fresh. If you're just joining us, junior Latrell McCutcheon from LBJ. He wears the number 21 out there in white. Committed to play for Nick Saban in Alabama. And the senior Sean Fresh, he's wearing number 1. He's got a touchdown catch tonight. Fresh is heading to Rice next year to go play football down there. And then also on the defensive side of the ball, Gabe Smith, the defensive end, heading to Texas Southern. So a lot of talent on this LBJ football team tonight, especially on that defensive side. Third different receiver to get a touchdown pass from Scott tonight. They lead it 42-0 to the LBJ Jaguars. There's a kickoff. First one down the middle. Now come over towards the sideline. It is fielded at the 27 near the sideline. Pushed out of bounds is Major Fought. And McCallum will take over 1st and 10 at the 37.
Yeah, real first opportunity to get any kind of head of steam on the return. And McCallum will go ahead and accept that they had an opportunity at least. And it will be interesting to see here if Rosales will get an opportunity to see if he can hit a slant or some kind of pass play, as he's really been limited to what he could do offensively in terms of just handing it off for the most part.
Well, here's Jackson Rosales at the backfield with Caleb Brown to his left. It's a handoff to Brown. Up the middle, it tries to squeeze through the hole, but he is met there by Omari O'Neal, who has been all around the football tonight. Omari O'Neal wearing that number 30 and just playing a heck of a game at the middle linebacker spot. Pickup of 1 there brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, and despite the score, it looks like McCallum's still going to stick with their typical slow down, let the play clock run down style of offense, and as it hits 13 seconds, they're finally getting set.
Yeah, if you're McCallum right now, you're almost playing to try to improve before next week. This LBJ team may be the best in the district. There's a handoff again to Brown. Pile in the middle and back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, really. Yeah. That's what I was saying. There's still development opportunities. Even if you're throwing in younger guys, there's nothing really left to lose here. The football game is conceivably out of reach here with 8:40 left to play in the third, trailing by several scores. So, maybe just letting Brown take a little bit less of a beating as well, because he has taken a lot of hits tonight getting
he's had to carry the ball at least 20 times tonight already.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of run.
Snap to Rosales. Pressure coming up the middle. He escapes. Now rolls out to his right. Gets away again. Quick throw to the near sideline, and it's incomplete. Intended for Nate Davidson, who tried to come back for the football. Credit Rosales there. Jackson Rosales was being harassed in the backfield by Gabe Smith, the Texas Southern commit. Got away from a couple of attempted tackles there. Just could not complete the pass, and here's 4th down.
Yeah, and, that's what I was talking about. The real problem is that Rosales has been under pressure anytime he has dropped back almost immediately, but he shows off some moves right there, and those kind of things will prepare him for later on when he's not dealing with such a strong defense.
Well, that's the 5th straight 3 and out for McCallum. Low driving kick fielded by Fresh inside the 30. He'll turn around, go far side, try to cut the middle now. Up to the 33 and take it down there. Good tackle by Simone Reuter. And LBJ takes back over. This will be LBJ's worst field position of the night at their own 33.
Yeah, and despite the score, I imagine they're still going to want to run their fast-paced offense and try and take advantage of opportunity to pad stats at this point with 67 yards out of them.
You know, the question becomes, too, when do you take your starters out and try to – you talked about development opportunities. A development opportunity also is let your second team run the entire offense out there just in case. You never know. McCallum can attest to that. You never know when an injury can change the season. This one, a handoff around the near side to Daquan Donaldson. He'll be chased out of bounds at the 39, so a pickup of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
Yeah, Donaldson still getting running there, as it looks like LBJ will respectfully still run out their first team, but yeah, you would think that maybe they would start to run in some guys that they would like to get developed.
Again, handoff to Donaldson. Left side he goes, gets across the 40, pushes his way up to about the 41. Gain of 2 there, and it's 3rd and 2.
A rare LBJ third down conversion attempt here.
We have not seen many. The longest drive tonight for LBJ has been 6 plays. Snap, handoff. Donaldson met in the backfield, and he's ridden down as Caleb Green able to get in there and make the quick stop. And there's a loss of 3 on the play and to bring up a 4th down.
You know, there you go. Even development opportunities for McCallum on the defensive side. They haven't been able to stop LBJ too often, and despite the urgency probably not being there as much as it was earlier on, it's still a stop. And, you know, you give your offense a better opportunity here, and special teams maybe will get them on scoreboard. So these opportunities are not being taken for granted by the players out there.
Well, time called by LBJ, so that'll be their first of the half. I mentioned LBJ, their longest drive has been 6 plays tonight. They've got 42 points on 24 plays. That's 7 touchdowns. That's an average of a touchdown every 3.3 plays or so.
Yeah, it's happened quick. And, and you know, it's a lot of speed and a lot of finesse out there that has really led to those touchdowns. And not to mention the fumble recovery at the beginning of the game, and also the interception that was taken all the way back to the 1-yard line. So definitely efficient night for LBJ.
Yeah. Well, it'll be 4th down, and LBJ back to punt with Sean Fresh. He's had some good low-line drive kicks, one that the McCallum returner let go and bounced all the way inside the 5 back in the first quarter, going the same direction. This one a little bit higher, a wobbly kick that'll bounce and then hit the LBJ up man, and it will be downed where it first touched him. I think they missed it. This referee might have missed it. They're going to mark it at the 32, but the ball was actually originally touched around the 39. It hit him in the back as he was running down.
Yeah, tough break there, as the officials, I think, were maybe anticipating something else, and that's how officiating goes sometimes. You read your anticipation and not necessarily what actually happened. And McCallum trying to get something going here.
Well, here go the Knights, and Jackson Rosales back out at quarterback. Trying to get LBJ to jump offside maybe. Twitched a couple of times with 5:34 to go in this 3rd quarter. And now time is called. I believe we got a delay of game or a timeout. Let's see what got called. They will say it's a timeout for McCallum. That is their first one used of the half, so each team already down 1 timeout here in this second half.
Yeah, first time that we really saw a second man in the backfield there, and Brock Fanning, the sophomore wide receiver / linebacker on your roster, entering the backfield there, and they elect to just go ahead and take a timeout. And it looked like the offense was set, and like you said, maybe they were trying to get him to jump off sides, but instead they just go ahead and burn a timeout here with 5:28 left to play in the 3rd.
So here it is, 1st and 10, split backs in the backfield, as you mentioned, with Fanning back there. Brown goes out in motion. They will flare it out to him, and it's thrown out in front of him. He is stood up, and it's incomplete. Tyrone Jurls, the man who hit Brown, and it's 2nd down.
I like the creativity, moving Brown out of the backfield, try and set him up for a swing pass, but maybe a little bit too slow, but also a little bit too much. All eyes were on Brown because he's been their main offensive player, and I'd like to see McCallum try to get something going to somebody else so Brown can be able to get to classes tomorrow.
Oh, here's 2nd down. 10 to go. There's Brown, and he will just get back to the line of scrimmage. And it's 3rd down and 10 coming up. Callum, just 3 and out after 3 and out. Let's try to see the math here if I got it right. It's 1 since that 10-play drive that ended on a turnover on downs in the 1st quarter. They've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3 and outs, and another that ended at halftime, possession-wise.
Yeah, been a rough going for the Knights.
So split backs here on 3rd and 10. Fake the handoff, rolling right for Rosales. Going to try to throw. He does not, and he's taken out of bounds hard by Lamel Hicks. Called his name a few times tonight. Rosales might have had a shot at floating one to Brock Fanning over the defenders there, but chose to keep it, and instead it'll be another punt for McCallum on a 3 and out.
Yeah, and, I think that if anything, this is an opportunity for film to be where they learn those lessons instead of maybe floating something. You ask him what was going through his mind and, point out that instead of looking right at the defender coming at you, you maybe try and find somebody open and brace yourself if you know that impact is inevitable with kind of the unfocused look.
No rush here on the kick as it is booted away. An angled kick. Fresh will come up for it. Fielded at the 43. Man, stutter steps. Now comes back. Trying to make some men miss. Coming back across the formation a bit. And he'll go forward to the 46. I'll tell you what. He is just electric with the football. Number 1, Sean Fresh.
Yeah, and you can see why he's so highly touted as a recruit and one of those situations where he is why people enjoy football. The certain moves to make defenders miss, and he's one of those guys that he's not down until you've really made his knee hit the ground. Sometimes you get guys and you know when they're going to be tackled, and he's not one of those guys that you can read the tackle coming step before it happens.
Well, 4 wide receivers. Scott stays in at quarterback. Looks like all the starters still in here for LBJ. There's a handoff fake to Donaldson. Scott's going to take it around the right side, and he fights his way out to the 41. First time we've seen him really keep one on an option tonight. 5-yard pickup. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, I think he figured it was time for him to call his own number in the zone read type of play, and Donaldson had been getting the handoffs for the most part, so I think he knew that right side was going to be wide open, and he went ahead and took advantage of sort of Donaldson being a scapegoat.
Donaldson this time takes the handoff, and he is just legitimately ridden down at the 47-yard line for a loss of 6 on the play. That was Charlie Pacina back there taking him down.
Yeah, again, it maybe comes down to a bit more of a predictable play call there. As I said, Donaldson has been getting those touches, and that's why Scott was able to get around with that zone read earlier. And now we come to an obvious passing down for Jaguars.
I think you're starting to see LBJ just run the ball here and maybe trying to run clock. Instead, they will pass. A blitz coming. Scott gets away from the first man, but not the second or third as the cavalry comes from McCallum. Looked like number 22, Christian Hart, in there on the sack, along with number 54, Connor Boggs. And that'll bring up 4th down and 17 as a McCallum Knights defense steps up and gets the sack.
Yeah, the Knights were really eager to send that blitz. They were not going to let the passing lanes develop in for an opportunity to let Scott beat him with his arm. They were going to have to beat him with his. He was going to have to outrun all of the defenders that they were sending at him.
Well, late man coming on into the formation for LBJ. They didn't have enough on the field. Snap back. Fresh kicks it away. Low line drive kick. This ball's over the head of the return man. Bounces around inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Zach Napier had that fly over his head, and McCallum will take over from inside their 10 for the second time tonight.
Yeah, probably only going to see one play really get off here and before the start of the fourth quarter. And all things considered, only 7 points given up by McCallum. Their defense has sort of stepped up, and maybe LBJ's urgency after that first possession here in the third quarter has kind of gone down. But still, regardless, impressive showing from LBJ tonight, and McCallum may be looking to figure out new wrinkles in their offense.
Rosales hands off to Brown up the middle. He will fight forward for a yard, maybe two. Just shy of the 10-yard lines where it'll be marked. And that should end the third quarter. McCallum in no rush to get this snap off. 10 seconds left here in the third frame. And, yep, they're just going to let this clock bleed on down. We are through 3 quarters of play, 12 minutes to go here at House Park tonight. LBJ is firmly in control, 42-0 over McCallum as we head to the fourth. This is AISD Thursday Night Football Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry on SHN Sports.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com.
Well, that was a handoff to McCallum's slot receiver. Sorry, we don't have a number on him, as number 3 is not on the roster. But a little bit of a sweep play, cut inside, picks up a few yards, brings up 3rd and 5 as we start the third quarter here, our fourth quarter rather, with LBJ leading 42-0 here on AISD's Thursday Night's Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry on SHN Sports. 3rd and 5. Handoff to Brown over the right side. He'll try to get outside and cannot do so. Tackled one more time by big number 32 out there, Roy Green, the defensive lineman, just a sophomore, able to make the play, and it's 4th down. McCallum, another 3 and out.
Yeah, you know, you like to see a little bit of how they changed up the offense there as they started off the fourth quarter with a different look instead of just handing it off to Brown.
Yeah.
But you know, at a certain point, and I know it's hard to do this in the middle of the season, it might be worth looking into, if you're not going to pass at all, even when you're down 42-0, going ahead and changing a triple option.
Well, there's a punt on the way. It's a low liner that'll be fielded at the 45 by Fresh. He's got a hole across the 40 to the 35-30. He is gone. Touchdown, LBJ. Sean Fresh with a 45-yard punt return. It's now 48-0.
Yeah, well, when it rains, it pours, and that's the LBJ offense there. The 6 points added on before the offense even comes back onto the field, and the honest truth is, Fresh is for real.
Fresh is, well, as the kids would say, fresh.
Yeah, exactly. Is that too little 90s, or is
I mean,
still common?
It's a kid when I was in the 90s, so I'm good. It's all good.
I think Will Smith made that forever popular.
The snap back on the extra point. It's up. It's good. And your score now with 10:21 to go in the fourth quarter of play. 49-0. LBJ leads McCallum. Let's run you down the scoreboard real quick locally and also start talking about some games that will happen in the area tomorrow. Big night of high school football all over the place tomorrow night. Liberty Hill just taking Connolly to town at the field tonight, 59-13, that game in the fourth. Liberty Hill, of course, in the state finals last year, so really good football team coming back there. Bowie all over Del Valley, 31-7 in the third quarter. And in the fourth, Hayes leads Anderson, 28-6. Tomorrow night, Seguin travels up here to Austin to take on the formerly Reagan Raiders, now Northeast Raiders, up at Nelson Field. Vista Ridge takes on Westwood at Dragon Stadium in Round Rock. The Round Rock Dragons, meanwhile, head to the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex, taking on McNeil. Cedar Park will host Cinco Ranch High School. Vandergrift hosts Hendrickson. Leander, in a game that you can see right here on the SHN Sports Network, takes on Cedar Ridge up at Bible Stadium. Let's see what else we got in the area. Lago Vista taking on Llano. Pflugerville hosting La Vega tomorrow night. This La Vega, by the way, the only loss that has been put on LBJ. They beat LBJ last week, as there's a kick on the way. Sorry, no name on this one, as there's no number 3 on the McCallum roster. Woo! But he is spun around and taken down from high up on the collar by Darian Miller. So McCallum will take over at the 33. Lake Travis takes on Aikens down at Burger Stadium. Let's see. Austin faces Westlake right here at House Park. Crockett taking on Lanier. And, man, I'm missing some games because I know Georgetown's playing tomorrow night, and I know Hutto and some others are playing, but I don't have them popping up in my feed for local games. Let's see if I can continue to look and give you guys some more updates. Gerald in a game that you can see right here on SHN Sports, taking on Rosebud Lott, as McCallum takes the field from their own 33, handoff up the middle. Brown stuffed again for no gain.
I believe Georgetown is actually off.
You're right. This is their bye week this week. You're right.
Yeah, this will be their bye week, and I believe I'm going to be on the call next week filling in for Rob as he gets super busy this year with the Sam Houston State gig.
Yeah, you and I are filling in on several Georgetown games back and forth. Also, you can hear the dulcet sounds of myself and Carl this Saturday from Georgetown at Birkelbach Field. If you would like, here on SHN Sports, Southwestern University, game number 2 of their season. They had a bye week after a big 47-7 victory on the road at Sewanee that Carl called. We'll have that game for you this coming Saturday evening at 6 o'clock as the handoff up the middle goes out to the 36-yard line. Pick up a 3, and it's 3rd and 7. So that game this coming Saturday night, as Southwestern will be at home and expecting a good ball game. They're taking on Louisiana College coming over at 6 o'clock. Louisiana College with a 1-1 record, but already 1-0 in their conference in the American Southwest.
Yeah, it'll be a grueling 9 straight weeks of football for Southwestern as they experienced their bye week last week.
They caught the short end of the stick on the bye week rotation this year. And they're going to have to play 9 straight weeks of football beginning Saturday night. And you can see that game here on SHN Sports. Don't forget, tomorrow night, too, on SHN, all night long, beginning at 7 o'clock. It's SHN Football Friday happening up from the SHN Sports studios. Stephen Strong and Justin Simmons will have you all the coverage from local games around the area. The handoff over the right side goes to BK Campos, and he is unable to pick up anything on that play. In fact, loses about 4. And it'll bring up 3rd down after the penalty. So that game, SHN Football Friday from 7 till about midnight tomorrow night with live game reactions, drop-ins from calls from around the area on the SHN Sports Network. And then, of course, analysis afterwards. And so join us there on the network tomorrow night as well. If you haven't done so yet, go to SHN Sports. Or if you're watching this broadcast right now, just hit that subscribe button and check out all the content coming from SHN this season. Here's 3rd and long. Handoff up the middle to Campos. He's across the 40. It's going to be a 1st down as the sophomore picks up a nice 14-yard run, and McCallum has their first down since the opening quarter.
Yeah, you take the positive right there, and Campos not only giving Brown a break, but also able to get a little confidence, getting a big run here to help his offense. And with approaching 6 minutes left, I'm pretty sure McCallum would take a small moral victory if they believe in that in getting on the scoreboard.
6 minutes to go here in the final quarter of play. 49-0 as LBJ leads it. That handoff up the middle as Campos pushes his way out to midfield. Pickup of 2 there. If you're McCallum, you're probably just looking to find points on the board and build a little bit of something heading into next week, like you said.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I think everybody's still focused on what's happening between the sidelines, but it's obviously a little less urgent than usual.
4 receivers set. In motion goes Fought. He'll take it on the fly sweep to the near side. Trying to cut across the 50, makes a man miss, does so. Down the sideline he goes, out to the 40-yard line, and it's a first down on a 10-yard pickup for Major Fought on the end-around sweep.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we were talking about, figuring out ways to open up your playbook, because we weren't seeing much of that in the first half.
No, getting outside, I'm a little surprised McCallum didn't do it earlier, trying to do anything to, even those fly sweeps, even if you don't hand them off, it forces one of the linebackers out of the box and to honor the receiver going out there and could open up the middle for your run game. Campos in the backfield next to Rosales. They'll hand it off to him. Whew. And before he can even get the football, Gabe Smith was there to meet him. Smith has been all over the place. And actually, that was not Smith. Excuse me, that was Brendan Jones. I got the number wrong. But Brendan Jones, the defensive end, a junior, was just right there at the handoff, and it's 2nd and 12.
Yeah, tough to really blame that on anybody with the football after the snap, as a couple Jaguars were able to get through the A-gaps pretty quick.
4 minutes to go now in the ball game. Fought takes it on the end around. Tries to cut upfield and does not go anywhere. Picks up about a yard before he's taken down hard by Jai Maxwell, a reserve defensive back, and here comes 3rd and long. About 3rd and 12 to go.
Well, it's one of those things where you'd probably hate to do it to your defense, but this might be 4-down territory no matter what happens on this play. So probably just try and get something to make this a 4th and manageable, if you will.
Well, here you go. Fought back in motion. This time they'll fake the handoff, look to throw. Rosales going right, trying to escape pressure, just decides to throw it into the first row. And here comes 4th down. We do have a running clock situation, by the way, and a 49-0 score. So if you're thinking, man, this quarter's going by pretty quickly, that is why, as we are now down to 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, and in all honesty, that's pretty much fair to both sides. This is a school night, and given the fact that those seconds are not particularly important to either team, it's good sportsmanship between the coaches to go ahead and just allow that to happen.
Well, the punt away from Trinidad de la Garza. He'll angle that one. It goes about 3 rows deep into the stands. You could hear the screams of a few of the ladies over there in the McCallum student section from across the way as the ball was heading to them. And we'll spot the ball at the 30-yard line as LBJ takes over, likely for the final time tonight. Running clock, and we are down to 2:15 to go in this ball game.
Yeah, if they take their time getting on the field, they might be able to take knees to end this.
Yeah.
It's almost what it looks like they're doing. As they, I guess they have not. Maybe they've started the play clock.
No, play clock has not started. Now there goes the whistle. So, yeah, if LBJ chose to, they could snap this a few times, take some knees, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Everybody's favorite formation.
It has been an impressive night for the LBJ Jaguars. Actually, they won't. They're going to pitch it outside. There goes Alexander to the 40, down to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, LBJ, Daquan Donaldson. I said Alexander, Daquan Donaldson with his 4th touchdown run of the night.
I would say he gets my early vote for SHN Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's been an impressive night for Mr. Donaldson. 4 TD runs for him. That one goes 70 yards. And with the extra point, it should be 56-0 LBJ.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see the final numbers that all of the LBJ individual statistics have racked up.
Yeah, me too. I don't unfortunately have the yardage, as the extra point is good. Your score now with 1:30 to go, 56-0 LBJ. We unfortunately at the high school level sometimes it's tough to get live stats, but I would love to know exactly how many yards he has on how many carries, because we mentioned it earlier. LBJ hasn't run that many plays tonight, and they've got 56 yards.
Yeah. I would assume their
56
total
points, I should say.
Yeah, I would assume their total plays is hovering around 25 to 30.
Well, they were at 24 in the third quarter, and probably I could do the math real quick, but I think they're right around 40 for the night.
Yeah. That's rather impressive when you really consider it all, how many snaps and yards. That's a pretty good ratio, snap to yards gained ratio.
Well, not just that. You're averaging more than a point a snap right now, which that's pretty rare.
Yeah, well, LBJ wanted to bounce back from their first loss of the season, and they're doing it in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, LBJ looks like a team that could very well win this district, and someone that you don't necessarily want to match up with if you're in the northern part of the city, in the northern suburbs, I should say, in District 11, that matches up with this District 12 here in the first round of the playoffs. Kick away from LBJ, line drive kick. That'll get all the way out to the end zone for a touchback.
First time we've seen a touchback this evening.
Yeah, it's been the pop-up kick the entire night for LBJ, and actually both kickers, but Gerardo Benitez that time. Boots one through the end zone, and we got a flag down here late. I think some jawing happened. I got a feeling there's some McCallum players on the other side that maybe weren't too happy that LBJ decided a pitch play there when a knee could have ended the game.
Yeah, I understand that there's probably some frustrations over that, and it will be LBJ who, you know, I've seen them still keep their energy levels high, and sometimes a part of that is the conversations that happen on the field.
Yeah. So 15-yard penalty against LBJ. Moves the ball out to the 40 with 1:23 to go in this ball game. 56-0 Jaguars trying to preserve a shutout here. Handoff to Campos. And there were 3 Jaguars waiting on him before the ball was even handed to the running back. Man, this defense is just swarming tonight.
Yeah, there's not really much McCallum's been able to get off at all this evening, as pretty much 9 times out of 10 that defense is doing and getting to space wherever they want.
Well, here comes second down and likely the last play of the game. McCallum probably just going to run one more and try to get out of here. Campos again over the right side, finds a hole out to the 45. A little pickup of about 7. And unless McCallum just chooses to run one more play to get some more snaps in and a little bit of practice, this game is very likely over. 16 seconds to go officially, and yeah, McCallum beginning to walk off the field and get ready for the handshakes, and that will do it tonight from House Park. An impressive victory on opening night in District 12 play as the fireworks shoot off above the stadium. Kind of scared us a bit, but the LBJ Jaguars pitch a 56-0 shutout over McCallum and move to 1-0 in District 12 play. 3-1 overall. McCallum falls to 1-3 overall, 0-1 in the district.
Yeah, and you know, it's just going to be a tough go for McCallum, though, when you have your quarterback get injured at the start of the season, and then you're dealing with one of the toughest defenses that you'll probably see all year, maybe all lifetime at the high school level, where you're talking about an Alabama commit at one of the heights of Nick Saban's career on one side. And, you know, it's really one of those things where LBJ came out determined to make a statement tonight. They had their student section behind them, and an impressive victory, 56-0 over their rivals.
So McCallum falls 56-0 to LBJ. Quick recap on scoring one more time. 3 touchdown passes for Hunter Scott tonight. One to Sean Fresh in the first quarter to start the game, 7-0. It was 14-0 a few drives later when Daquan Donaldson had his first of 4 touchdown runs. This one a 38-yarder in the first quarter, making it 14-0. It became 21-0 later on when Donaldson ripped off a 10-yard run in the second quarter. 28-0 in the second quarter after a 24-yard touchdown pass from Scott to Andrew Makuba. And then to end off the first half, scoring a long return on an interception down to the 1-yard line, set up Donaldson for his 3rd touchdown run of the first half, making it 35-0. In the third quarter, after we came out from the break, a 40-yard screenplay on LBJ's first play of the second half goes for a touchdown. It was Scott to Danny Davis, the wideout, 42-0 there. And then on the final play offensively for LBJ tonight, a 70-yard pitch play to Daquan Donaldson, his 4th touchdown of the night, and sandwiched in there as well a 45-yard punt return from Sean Fresh. So 56-0 your final in this ball game tonight, and just an impressive evening for LBJ. Remember, folks, SHN, our AISD SHN Thursday Night Football's Game of the Week, presented by Georgetown Jewelry, will not be on the air next week. It's a bye week around the AISD. The next air will be Thursday, October the 3rd. We will be down where's this game? It'll be back here at House Park, and it will be Del Valley taking on the Austin Maroons here at House Park on October the 3rd. I'll have that game right here on SHN Sports. Don't know who's going to be up here in the booth with me just yet, but we'll find out. Also around the network, I want to remind you about games tomorrow night. We know Leander's going to be playing. Do believe as well Gerald is playing as well tomorrow night. So a few games on the network. I think Hutto may be playing, but I'm not sure on that one. But make sure you check out SHN Network and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us up. And don't forget SHN Football Friday tomorrow night from 7 o'clock to midnight. That will be going on all night long from the SHN Sports Studio. Live drop-ins on game analysis, updates from around the area as well. And then Saturday, Carl and I will be back at Birkelbach Field in Georgetown as the Southwestern Pirates get set to open their home portion of their schedule. Southwestern University taking on Louisiana College. Some D3 football coming your way this coming Saturday, 6 o'clock kickoff. Join us on the air that night as well. Carl, any final words as we wrap up tonight?
Hey, good luck to both of these teams as they go on. It looks like LBJ is set for a strong season with a defense that dominant. So congratulations to them on the victory.
Well, for Carl Schoening, I am Brad Tillery saying good night, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you coming along for the ride tonight. One final time from House Park in downtown Austin. It was a dominant performance for the LBJ Jaguars. They take down McCallum 56-0 in the 5A District 12 opener. Join us again tomorrow night all over the network for action. Just hit that subscribe button on SHN here on YouTube. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe. Have a great